pretty much, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
All right, awesome, Clark. And we have his son here, Kaleo. He's gonna assist.
He's gonna be here to answer any difficult questions that I can't get to.
Okay, can help you out there. Okay, to first start off, a question I think a lot of people have in mind is, Clark, you're from a famous family, the Gracies, and how do you handle the pressure of competing with the Gracie name and having a school, being a black belt, and having a legacy? Does it get to you, or you don't think about it when you compete, or how do you handle the pressure of competing?
I think before I became a black belt, it was like the hardest time for me. But after I got a black belt, I think I'm just pretty much used to it by now. And also helping to realize that there's never going to be any easy fights. Everybody's going to have wins and losses. And nowadays, I know if I'm going to go compete, I'm competing against some of the best guys in the world. So there's really no main, there's nothing really for me to doubt myself with or worry about too much, because I know like everybody has their ups and downs, and it's just all learning experience no matter what.
Nice. So since you were a black belt, you didn't really think about that anymore, the pressure.
I think, I do think about it, but I think the hardest part for me was before I got my black belt, or purple belt, brown belt, is when I felt that difficulty, that anxiety to lose or not to lose and stuff. But people have told me, some older guys of the older generation have told me, man, you go out there and compete for yourself, do it for that personal growth, and certain things like that I've heard have helped me a lot. And I just try to like zone out of everything else that's going on and just stay focused on the person in front of me in the fight, and then don't get too sidetracked with all the pressure and all the just kind of like a mental focus. But it's something that I think everybody that does jiu-jitsu should try to experience at least once. Go through that and to challenge themselves.
Nice. Well, that was a good answer, so I'm happy to get that out of the way. Everyone's curious, I bet. Second question, leading up to competing and stuff. How do you handle a loss, especially like close calls or ref decisions, or just any loss in general? Do you let it get you down, or do you get upset, or do you work on it, or when you lose a big match?
I don't get too down about those kind of things, because to me, I don't really feel like I lose unless I get caught, I lose on like big, serious points, But if it's not, if it's just something by like an advantage or a decision, I'm just like, well, could have gone either way easily, Yeah. So I'm not too, I don't let it bother me too much. I've kind of raised where it's like submit or nothing, So if I get submitted, or if I get the submission, that's when I consider it a real win or a loss.
Oh.
But if I win off of like, an advantage, or, same thing if I win, if I win off of 2 points or something, I'm like, oh, cool, I get to pass, but I'm not really satisfied, with that victory.
So I guess my next question will kind of like lead into that, is what do you consider a satisfactory win? Like submitting the guy, or winning by 2 points, or what is your mindset when you get into a match? You trying to like go for the omoplata and just hunt that down, or going to win with 2 points?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, a win is a win, and you should be happy with whatever you get. It, when it gets to that point where you're at the same level as your opponent, and you're doing against a tough opponent, sometimes it's not easy, So I'm fine with that, but I'm much more satisfied when I get a win off of a submission, and especially when it's a nice, clean setup, and I get to really feel the strategy was in full effect.
Cool. I'm the same way. I only got one sub in competition, so I feel the same way. I love
good,
it.
right?
Yeah, it feels freaking amazing. Just want to get more of those.
Right.
Wow, that's an awesome answer. So thank you. The last question, just to make it quick, when you're prepping for like Pan Ams or a really big tournament, what kind of training and diet and exercises do you start pumping up in your training?
I mean, I'll try to eat just a little bit cleaner, but I try to pretty much maintain that similar diet all year round. So it's not a big change for me. It's more just a lifestyle, And but I'll step up my training a little bit, push myself a little bit more than usual, And of course, you got to be careful not to overtrain and get yourself so exhausted. Sometimes weeks before the tournament, or sometimes you reach your peak the week before the tournament, but then you end up keep training. You end up sometimes overdoing it. Sometimes your body can't keep up, and your immune system can go down, and all kinds of problems like that. So, you got to know how to train and know how far to push yourself, and it's not all about like every single day you have to push yourself to the limit, but doing it in the right form,
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So, but everything as a lifestyle, just stepping it up a little bit, pushing yourself a little bit more, understanding what your opponents are going to want to do to you, and trying to prepare for that as well. So.
Nice. Okay, last question, Clark. I'm a beginner. There's a lot of beginners that like jiu-jitsu, they love jiu-jitsu, but more than 50% end up quitting after a year or two. Maybe like blue belt, or even before that they quit. Can you give some advice to the beginners to stick with it, keep them motivated? What would you tell your students that, I'm just not getting it, sports not for me after 1 year?
Well, think back and ask them what is their main purpose for doing the art in the first place. Is it for fitness, for self-defense? Is it for the sport? And usually a lot of times it's a combination of all those things. But get to a deeper understanding of what they're doing and find the beauty of the art and try to find their niche. And sometimes it's just a bit of motivation, maybe a private lesson that can help you spark that interest again, or find something that you're really excited about. And just keep jiu-jitsu exciting, keep having fun with it. And as long as you're having fun, you're going to get better. And if you're getting better, then you're going to progress and eventually get to that black belt. And then that's in itself just the beginning anyways. When you get to the black belt, then you might become an instructor from there, or just enjoy the jiu-jitsu for what it is. But just try and stay motivated and challenge yourself and be open-minded for wins and losses, but whatever you want to do with it, whether it's in the academy or competition, maybe competing would be something to try and test yourself to kind of get you a little bit more excited about your training.
I think that was the key for me. Once I started to compete, it motivated me more. So I think that's the key component. Trying to figure out what they need and throw it out there and entice them to try more. But yeah. So that's great advice, Clark. Thank you very much for the interview, and I'm glad you had the time to join us today at my talk show. Thank you very much, Clark.
Thank you, Mike.